Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ABC Learning English. I'm your host, Adam.
And I'm Eva. We're so happy to have you with us today. If you want to learn English, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. We speak slowly and clearly, so you can just relax, listen, and improve your English. How are you doing today, Eva?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I feel very energetic today. I drank a huge cup of coffee this morning. What about you, Adam? How's your day going?
My day's going great, but I'm a little bit tired today.
Oh no. Why is that? Did you work late last night?
Well, no. I tried to go for a relaxing drive this weekend. I went up to a beautiful mountain town, the kind of place with lovely pine trees, cool air, and lots of mist. I really wanted to enjoy some quiet time and just breathe.
Oh, I love places like that. They're usually so peaceful.
Right? I thought it would be peaceful. But when I got there, it was completely full of people. There was a huge traffic jam on a small mountain road. I couldn't even find a place to park my car.
Oh, wow. That sounds so stressful. Why were there so many people? Was there a special holiday or a local festival?
Not at all. I asked a local coffee shop owner. He said a famous person posted a very short video of his shop on the internet. The video looked so magical and moody. So, thousands of young people drove up the mountain just to take the exact same picture.
I mean, that's crazy. But it happens all the time now. People see a beautiful picture on their phone and they immediately want to go there.
Exactly. And that brings us perfectly to our big topic for today. Today, we're going to talk about travel and social media.
This is a very interesting topic. We look at beautiful travel pictures on our phones every single day.
Yes, we do. But before we dive into the main story, let's learn a great English phrase. In our story today, there's a phrase, out of thin air.
Out of thin air. That sounds interesting. Adam, can you explain what out of thin air means?
Absolutely. It's a very common and useful idiom. When something happens or appears out of thin air, it means it appears suddenly, and it seems to come from nowhere at all.
Ah, I see. Like magic.
Exactly. Think about a magic trick. The magician has an empty black hat. He waves his hand, and boom, a white rabbit jumps out. The rabbit appeared out of thin air.
That's a great example. I have another example. Let's say I'm sitting in my bedroom. I'm completely alone. The door's closed. Suddenly I hear a loud music playing behind me. The music came out of thin air.
Perfect example, Eva. It means it's a big surprise. There's no clear reason for it to be there.
Right. So in our travel story today, how do we use this phrase?
Well, we use it to talk about tourists sometimes. A very quiet, empty place suddenly has thousands of visitors. It feels like the tourists just appeared out of thin air.
Makes sense. Because of one short video on the internet, a massive crowd of people just magically appears.
Exactly. And that's the first big problem we want to talk about today. We're looking at a new study. This study shows how phone apps completely change the way we travel.
Right. When I open my phone, I see so many perfect travel videos. The water's so blue, the food looks amazing, the sun's always shining.
Yes, and because of these perfect videos, people travel more than ever before. But they don't travel to learn about the history of a new place. They don't travel to meet the local people.
Then why do they travel, Adam?
They travel just to take a selfie. They want to show their friends that they went to that beautiful place.
Oh, wow. So they just want the picture. They want to copy the exact video they saw on their phone.
Absolutely. And this creates massive crowds in very small, fragile places. Let me give you a real example from our study. Let's talk about a tiny village in Austria. It's called Hallstatt.
Hallstatt? I think I know it. Does it have a very famous church right next to a beautiful lake?
Yes, it does. It looks like a fairy tale village. You know, like a town straight out of a beautiful Disney movie. It's so pretty.
It sounds wonderful. I definitely want to visit it one day.
Well, maybe you should wait, because Hallstatt's very small. Only about 800 people live there.
800? That's just a small neighborhood. It's not a city at all.
Right? But because it looks so perfect on the internet, it gets very busy. During the peak summer season, up to 10,000 tourists visit this tiny village in a single day.
10,000 people? In one day for a village of 800 people? That's impossible.
It's true. Over 1 million people visit Hallstatt every year. It's a complete nightmare for the local people. Imagine trying to go to the supermarket, but there are thousands of tourists blocking your street with their big cameras.
I mean, that sounds terrible. The local people must be so tired, they can't live a normal life anymore.
Exactly. The local government even had to build tall wooden fences. They put big wooden fences in front of the most beautiful views.
Really? Why did they do that?
They did it to stop people from taking photos. If the tourists can't take the perfect selfie, maybe they'll just go home. The town just wants some peace and quiet.
Wow, that's a very strong action, but I completely understand why they did it.
Right? And it's not just in Europe. Let's look at Asia. Do you know Jeju Island in South Korea?
Oh, absolutely. Jeju Island's very famous. I see it in a lot of Korean TV shows and dramas. It looks so romantic and beautiful.
Yes, it's heavily promoted online. People see the beautiful beaches and the cute cafes because it looks so good on a screen. Millions of people want to go there.
I can imagine. So, is it also very crowded?
Extremely crowded. In fact, people book so many flights to get there. The flight path from the capital city, Seoul, to Jeju Island became the busiest flight route in the entire world.
The busiest in the world? That's shocking. I thought flights between big cities like New York and London would be the busiest.
Nope. It's the flight to this beautiful island. It reached over 14 million booked flight seats in just 1 year. People don't care if the flight's long or expensive. If a place looks good on their phone, they'll spend all their money to go there and stand in the exact same spot.
I mean, it's very powerful. The internet can make people do crazy things. They'll wait in a long line for hours under the hot sun, just for one photo. They ignore all the bad things like expensive hotels or really bad traffic.
Absolutely. They just want that one perfect picture for their internet page. So, we can clearly see that social media makes people travel in massive numbers. It creates huge crowds and changes small towns forever.
Yes, the evidence is very clear. People are definitely packing their bags and traveling to these famous spots.
But Eva, what if I told you that for many other people, these beautiful internet pictures do the exact opposite?
Wait, what do you mean? Do the pictures make them stay home?
Exactly. What if seeing all these perfect, expensive, beautiful vacations actually makes normal people too anxious and scared to travel at all? We'll talk all about this strange travel fear right after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Before the short break, I asked a very big question. What if perfect internet pictures actually make normal people too scared to travel?
Right. And that sounds very strange to me. If a picture is really beautiful, it should make you want to go there, right?
Well, that's what I thought too. But researchers found a big new problem. They call it social media-induced travel anxiety. That is a very long name. Let's just call it travel anxiety.
Travel anxiety. What does that actually mean for a normal person sitting at home?
It means you feel very worried, stressed, or nervous about your own vacation, and you feel this way specifically because you look at other people's flawless, perfect trips on your phone.
Oh, wow. I mean, I kind of understand that feeling. The videos online are always so perfect. The hotels are huge and expensive. The clothes are beautiful. The weather is never rainy.
Exactly. To understand why we feel bad, scientists talk about a simple two-step process. First, you look at the video on your app. You see the bright sun, the amazing food, and the luxury hotel. You just look at it and take in the information.
Right? That makes sense. That's step one. What's step two?
Step 2 is where the real damage happens. You stop looking at the phone and you look at your own life. You look at your bank account. You realize you don't have a lot of money. You realize you aren't a professional photographer. You don't have perfect summer clothes.
Oh, I see. So you feel like your trip will never be as good as the video. You feel inadequate. You feel like you just aren't good enough to travel like them.
Yes, and because you feel so stressed and worried, what do? You just don't book the flight. You don't buy the train ticket. You decide to stay home on your sofa to save yourself from the anxiety.
You know, we actually do this in everyday life too, not just with travel. Let's think about a normal family dinner.
A family dinner? How is that the same thing?
Well, imagine you want to cook a nice warm dinner for your family. You open your phone and see a video of a famous internet chef. He's making a perfect 5-star meal. It looks amazing and beautiful.
Okay, I'm following you.
Then you look at your own small kitchen. You look at your normal, everyday cooking skills. Suddenly, you feel terrible. You think my food will never look like that video. My family won't like it. So you just give up and order a pizza.
Absolutely. That is a brilliant example, Eva. It's the exact same feeling. You see something perfect online, you compare yourself to it, and you just give up.
Right. Psychologists actually have a name for this feeling. It's called upward social comparison. It's a big phrase, but it just means comparing yourself to someone who has more money, more status, or a better life than you.
Right? The study gave a really fun example about cars to explain this. Imagine you have a nice, reliable car. Maybe it's a few years old, but you take really good care of it. You drive it to work every day. You even plan to keep it for 10 years because it's such a good, strong car. You feel perfectly happy with your car.
Okay, I love my car. Then what happens?
Then you go to a high school reunion party. You see your old friend from class, and he arrives in a brand new, very loud, bright red sports car, a Ferrari.
Oh no.
Exactly. Suddenly, your good, reliable car feels very old and slow. You feel a little embarrassed. But think about it. Your car didn't change at all. It's the same good car, but your feeling changed completely just because you compared yourself to the Ferrari.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. And social media does this to our vacations every single day. The internet is constantly showing us the Ferrari vacation.
Yes, every time you open the app, you see the Ferrari vacation. And if you're a sensitive person, you start to worry a lot. You worry your photos won't be pretty enough to show your friends. You worry the real place won't look like the perfect edited picture. You feel like you will just waste your money.
So, the fear of having a bad or boring trip is stronger than the desire to actually go outside and see the world. That is really sad, Adam.
It is. But wait, there's another huge reason why people just stay home. It's not just about money or taking perfect photos. It's about having way too many choices.
Too many choices? Wait, Adam, I'm a bit confused here. Having choices is a good thing. If the app helps me find cool, secret places, why is that bad? Isn't it like finding a fun, hidden treasure? I love finding a cool, secret coffee shop.
Well, finding one secret coffee shop is fun. Finding 10,000 secret places is not fun at all. Let me try to explain. Let's say you want to visit a famous, beautiful city like Prague. In the old days, you bought a small, thin travel book. It showed you 5 or 6 important places to see.
Right. You visit the big old castle, you walk on the famous bridge, and you're very happy with your trip.
But now, you open your phone. The travel app doesn't show you 5 places. The algorithm bombards you with thousands of hidden places. It tells you You must see this secret tower made of books. You must ride this special old elevator. You must eat at this specific restaurant.
Ah, let me think. I think I understand now. Let's compare it to taking a math test at school.
Okay, a test at school. Go on.
Imagine your teacher gives you a small, thin book to study for a math test. You read the book, you feel ready, and you feel calm. That is like the old simple travel book.
Right. That's very easy and relaxing.
But now, imagine the teacher gives you 10 huge, heavy books, and she says, the test questions are hidden everywhere in these 10 books. You must read everything perfectly. How do you feel?
Oh, wow. I would feel completely stressed. I would panic. I wouldn't know where to start studying. My brain would hurt.
Exactly. That is called information overload. You have too much information. You try to make the perfect travel plan, but it's totally impossible. If you go to Prague and you miss the special elevator or the secret book tower, you feel like your whole vacation is a big failure.
Yes, absolutely. Planning a vacation doesn't feel like fun anymore. It feels like a very stressful game with too many rules. The pressure is just too high for a normal person.
So, what happens to the traveler in the end?
They get decision fatigue. Their brain is just too tired from making so many choices. The cognitive load, the heavy work in their mind is too much. They try to plan the perfect, flawless trip, but they can't. So they just stop. They abandon all their travel plans.
Wow, they just give up completely.
Yes, choosing to stay home on the couch becomes a way to protect their mind. It is much easier and safer to sit at home and watch TV than to face the stress of a perfectly planned vacation.
That is such a deep problem. Travel used to be about freedom, right? You just walk around a new city, talk to people, and discover things naturally.
Right? Spontaneous exploration? But now, that joy is mostly gone. It became a strict checklist. You have to check every box, take every photo, or you fail.
Whether you're waiting in a long line under the hot sun on a dangerous cliff just to take a picture, or you're sitting alone at home because you're too scared to plan a trip. In both situations, the true joy of travel is broken.
Exactly. The internet has stripped away the real magic of exploring the world.
You know, Adam, this is a lot of big information for our listeners today. We talked about travel anxiety, upward social comparison, and information overload.
We really did. It's a very complex topic, but it's so important for our modern lives.
I think our listeners did a great job following along with us, but to make sure everyone truly understands and remembers everything, how about we do a quick review? Let's check some of the new English words we learned today.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, Eva. Let's move right into the vocabulary check.
Yes, this is my favorite part of the show. We talked about so many interesting things today, but we want to make sure you truly remember the most important words.
Absolutely. Learning new words is how you get better at English. So, we picked 3 very useful words and phrases from our story today. Eva, what is the first phrase on our list?
The first one is a phrase we used in the very beginning. The phrase is out of thin air. Let me spell the last 2 words for you. Thin is T-H-I-N, and air is A-I-R, out of thin air.
Right. This is a great phrase. I remember we talked about a magic trick.
Yes. We talked about a magician pulling a white rabbit out of an empty hat. The rabbit just appears out of thin air. It means something happens suddenly, and it is a big surprise.
Exactly, in our travel story, we said huge crowds of tourists appear out of thin air. One day the town is quiet. The next day, 10,000 people are there. It feels like magic, but not the good kind of magic.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, Adam, what is our second word for today?
Well, our second word is a little bit longer. It is an adjective. The word is inadequate.
Oh, wow, inadequate. That sounds like a difficult word. Let me try to spell it. It is inadequate, inadequate.
Perfect spelling, Eva. So what does inadequate mean? Let's think about the story with the cars.
Ah, right? We talked about a normal, good car, and then we compared it to a super fast, expensive red Ferrari.
Yes, when you put the normal car next to the Ferrari, the normal car feels inadequate. It means it is not good enough. It makes you feel small or not important.
I see. So when normal people look at perfect, expensive vacations on their phones, they feel inadequate. They feel like their own life and their own vacation will never be good enough.
Exactly. It is a very sad feeling. You know, you shouldn't feel inadequate just because of a video on the internet. Your life is great just the way it is.
I totally agree, Adam. Okay, we have one last word for our vocabulary check. This is actually 2 words together. The phrase is information overload.
Information overload. Let's spell the word overload. It is O-V-E-R-L-O-A-D, overload.
Right? Remember the story about the math test?
Yes, I do. The teacher gives you 10 heavy books to study. You have too much to read. Your brain gets very tired and stressed.
Exactly. That is information overload. You just have too much information at one time. When you look at a travel app, it gives you thousands of secret places to visit. It is too much. You cannot choose.
And because of that information overload, you just give up. You decide to stay home on your comfortable sofa.
Well done, Adam. I think our listeners understand these 3 words perfectly now, out of thin air, inadequate, and information overload.
I think so too. Now it is time for a fun challenge. Are you ready for the mini quiz?
I'm always ready for a quiz. Let's test our listeners today. We have 2 questions for you. Listen very carefully. I will read the first question.
Good luck, everyone.
Question number 1. In our story, why did the small town of Hallstatt in Austria build tall wooden fences? Is it option A, to build new houses for the local people? Option B, to stop tourists from taking photos? Or option C, to keep dangerous wild animals away?
That is a tricky question. Let's give everyone a couple of seconds to think about it.
Okay, time is up. Adam, what do you think is the right answer?
Well, let's look at the options. Option A is building new houses, but we know the town is very small and already full of people. They don't want more houses, so A is wrong.
Right. What about option C, keeping wild animals away?
We didn't talk about any animals in the story. The only problem in the town is the tourists, so C is definitely wrong.
That leaves us with option B, to stop tourists from taking photos.
And that is the correct answer. The local government built wooden fences to block the beautiful views. They wanted the tourists to stop taking selfies and go home.
Spot on. Great job if you guessed B. Okay, Adam, it is your turn to ask question number 2.
All right, here's question number 2. What happens when people experience information overload from their travel apps? Is it option A, they book a flight ticket immediately? Option B, they go to the store and buy 10 travel books? Or option C, they feel very tired and decide to stay home?
Oh, another great question. Let's wait 2 seconds for our listeners to answer.
Okay, Eva, let's talk about the answers. Option A says they book a flight immediately.
Well, we know that is wrong. When you have too much information, you feel stressed. You don't take action, you freeze. So A is incorrect.
Exactly. What about option B? They buy 10 travel books.
That is also wrong. If you already have information overload, you definitely do not want more books to read. Your brain is already too full.
Right. So the correct answer is C. They feel very tired, they get decision fatigue, and they just decide to stay home. It is easier to sit on the couch than to plan a perfect trip.
Fantastic. You guys did a great job on the quiz today.
We are so proud of you. Before we say goodbye, I want to send a special shout out to one of our amazing listeners, Hoang. He always listens to our podcast while driving his car around the beautiful, misty pine hills of Dalat. Thank you so much for learning English with us, Hoang.
Yes, thank you, Hong, and thank you to everyone listening around the world. Let's quickly remember the 3 big lessons from today. Number 1, travel apps make small, quiet places way too crowded.
Number 2, seeing perfect videos online makes normal people feel stressed and inadequate about their own trips.
And number 3, having too many choices gives us information overload, and it actually makes us want to stay home.
Exactly. So, we have a question for you, our listeners. Have you ever felt stressed when planning a vacation because of the internet? Does social media make you want to travel? Or does it make you want to stay inside?
We really want to know what you think. Please leave a comment below the video. Tell us your story in English. It is a great way to practice writing.
Absolutely. Do not forget to review your new vocabulary words today. Practice making your own sentences with them.
And if you enjoyed our lesson today, please click the like button and subscribe to ABC Learning English. We make new, fun lessons for you every week.
Have a wonderful, relaxing day, everyone. Maybe put your phone away for a little bit and just enjoy the real world.
Great advice. Adam. See you next time, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.
Great job today. Remember, small daily progress is the secret to fluency. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.